What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stokastic here on the Odd Shopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. It goes a long way for me on this video. It goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great betting content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Why can I not say apprised? Whatever. Doesn't matter. What does matter is I went 2-1 this morning in the money line plays. Haven't hit a homer yet, which is really frustrating and not like me. So hopefully that can change in the late night window. We have 3 overs coming down the pipeline. Hey, I don't make the rules. I just grade out the teams and I grade out the starting pitchers and the bullpens and I put the lineups and I do the configuring and then the math does the thing. But also we look deep in depth into the analytics, into what the things are that help us find the best plays. And that is through projection plus market-based approach. And that is Odd Shopper, friends. You can sign up for Odd Shopper in the video description box below. It's now $24.95 to be able to check out anything for an entire month. If you have not tried it out yet, introductory month for $24.95. That is really good stuff. But of course, our sponsor here, BetMGM, I'll talk about them a little bit later. That is also going to be great stuff for you guys to be checking out. You want access to all these different sports books. That's a market-based approach. And hey, Arizona, it's okay that they didn't, well, they completely shat the bed. It was unfortunate and really undesirable for my life. Trey Turner, 9th inning home run. Of course, they were up 5-0 in that game, up 5-3 in the 9th, and such is life. Bad beats are going to happen throughout the season, and you just want to run better than you don't. And part of that is through the market-based approach, where you just get your money in good every single day. That is my goal for you on this video with leans, likes, and locks. Don't know why I wanted to throw all that out there at the top, but you know what? Felt like throwing it out there. This is my show. And there's only 10 games to talk about on Thursday instead of the 15,000 that we've had here every single day, it would seem like this week. Producer Jacob would agree. Getting the head nod, maybe? There it is. Found it. Guys, let's get partying, shall we? 10 games. We'll talk about BetMGM a little bit later, but without further ado, let's talk a little bit of long ball, shall we? To the picks we go. The Cardinals and Reds we go, and as I just said, long ball time right out of the get-go. We've got Miles Mikolas on the bump for the Cardinals, Luke Weaver for the Cincinnati Reds. Just another ridiculous back-end starter for the Cincinnati team. Got some guys up top. They do not have some guys on the back half, but either way, Miles Mikolas has been extremely disappointing for the Cardinals. A 302 expected batting average, just a 17.6% K percentage. Is this what you paid your money for? I can think of a lot better things to use your money on, like, I don't know. Well, no, not gambling. We don't want our pitchers gambling. That would be bad. But we do want you guys to check out all the great things over at BetMGM here, and that is where this line exists, and it's currently going to be the best. Now, normally, I wouldn't have these lines available, but I just wanted to double check what the projected lines were going to be. And hey, here you go. We're looking at a long ball coming here from Nolan Gorman. It's going to be in the plus 350 range. That is good enough for me. Yeah, that was a C is for cookie analogy. I don't know why, but everything's a cookie when Luke Weaver is out there throwing it. Hey, I knew I was going to find a way out of that one. 46% hard hit percentage, 479 expected slugging. Good Lord Almighty. He is not very good. So yeah, Nolan Gorman's a lefty who has a 65 out of 65 power grade, has every hit tool you could possibly look for against some of these right-handed pitchers. And on the season, 13 homers already, hitting 297. Nice to see him show up the year after I got him in Dynasty because, you know, normally you're back-ending him, but then everybody else sucks for my team. Sandy Alcantara, can we work on things? It'd be nice to see you work on things. Whatever. Nolan Gorman's going to hit a homer. So if you guys want to just bet that in the morning, it's a good way to get your day going. To Toronto and Tampa, and I feel like they've played 48 days in a row. Have you? I feel that way too. Zach Eflin on the mound going up against Alek Manoah, who has just been yucky. No Noah. 5.15 ERA, 1.74 whip. What are we doing here, dude? You're supposed to be elite. You are a big dude, not really doing much at the moment here. It's frustrating. A 387 xWOBA, a 486 expected slugging, just a 16.9% K rate and a 14% walk rate with a 6.54 expected ERA. Where did this come from? We're talking when he was 23, 2021 season, 3.30 expected ERA. 2022, with a larger sample size, 3.31 expected ERA. And he doesn't have to play the AL East as much as last year because of some of the scheduling changes. What are we doing here with a 6.54 expected ERA? Come on, man. What are we? It's just frustrating. Pitcher should be better. Even though, again, My Twins, they're in the AL. I need as little resistance as possible. And hey, if Toronto just doesn't find themselves out of the AL East, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I have to worry about Baltimore. I have to worry about Tampa. Well, let's talk Tampa on the other side, because this is definitely the side I'm invested in on. How about Zach Eflin and the improvements he's made? 2.7% walk rate. That's outrageous. And that's going to be something I think he repeats. He had 4.8 in 2022, 3.6 in 2021. Great stuff from him there. The hard hit is up quite a bit from 31.1% last season to 40% here. But the ballpark should suppress power for the most part, even though that's not really showing up from the Tampa Bay side, as they lead the league in WRC plus against both righties and lefties this season. What a time to be alive. But how about the 2.93 expected ERA for Zach Eflin? That's pretty fantastic. 270 xWOBA, 294 WOBA. That could even come down a little bit. I'm feeling really frisky here with Tampa Bay. Thought about locking them. I only have one lock on the board for today's 10 gamer, but Tampa Bay, they would be second in command there. So Tampa Bay money line might even be a full unit play for me come first pitch. Colorado hosting Miami. Can we get this series over with? I'm sick of watching these teams unless they decide to put up 11.5 runs. Well, 12 runs is what we're really looking for here today. We got Braxton Garrett, a lefty on the mound, going up against Mr. Kyle Freeland, another lefty on the mound. Southpaw Central will be downtown Denver. Look at me. I love alliteration. It's my thing. Let's talk Braxton Garrett here first, shall we? He's been a little bit disappointing as well this season with a 293 expected batting average, 48.5% hard hit percentage, and well, the righties are the ones who really got to be worried about here. You've got, of course, a horse is a horse, of course, and Chris Bryant is a horse, of course, against lefties. And Brenton Doyle has entered the chat, I suppose, too. He strikes out a ton with a 36% K rate, but strikeouts are muted there in Colorado. Has a 15.9% barrel percentage through 271 pitches faced at the big league level. Been kind of a nice little surprise for a team that really has not surprised us with how bad they are. They're really bad. It's kind of really all I'm looking at are those two specifically. But also, we're waiting for CJ Cron to get back in there. And Kyle Freeland, he's a little bit better so far this season with a 3.88 ERA, 1.24 whip. A little bit confused about his last outing. We saw some issues early, gave up 8 runs, 5 of those earned. 56 pitches got pulled early against Texas. But you know who literally smashes lefties' faces in? Texas. They have a 131 WRC plus. That is third best in the big. So you take that start out of play and you're looking around a 3.5 ERA for our guy Kyle Freeland here. That makes me lean towards the Colorado side. However, I'm hoping somehow, some way, this line gets steamed up where we can actually bet Colorado. Because as it stands right now, is it all that appealing to just even money bet Colorado with this lineup? No, it is not. And Jorge Soler, well, he's probably going to hit a home run. Have you seen his numbers against left-handed pitching so far this season? 311 WRC plus. That is make-believe kind of shit. So it's an uncomfortable spot here, but the numbers do project out Colorado money line the best. Just going to be a lean for me. It's unfortunate because Coors is always fun to target offense. San Diego and Washington are in the middle of a little something. They were up, Washington was up 5-3 in the 5th. I guess it's now top 7, 5-3. So that's carrying over here. But we are looking at a pretty interesting pitching matchup. Somebody we've targeted a lot this season, Blake Snell. Like, I've been targeting that guy since day one. I repeat, saw him pitch at at spring training in Arizona. Could not have been less impressed. Gave up 1 million jacks to the AA version of the Mariners. None of their starters in there. Sam Haggerty going yard. Crazy stuff that we saw against Blake Snell there. And it's carried over into this season. I'm very proud of myself for this stand, if nothing else. A 372 xWOBA, 497 expected slugging, and a 13.4% walk rate. Walks have always plagued him, but now this fastball is not tracking. He has been missing the zone repeatedly. And then when he's getting hit, when bats are making contact, it's at a perfect 14.6 degree launch angle with a 12.6% barrel rate. I don't see any room for improvement coming soon, and there's at least a couple of bats here between Stone Garrett, Riley Adams, Joey Meneses, I guess left on left is kind of what it is. Kyber Ruiz, if he's going to be in there catching instead of Riley Adams, Alex Call. We've had some decent bats from the Washington side that have been performing at the top of it. Now, they're still a terrible lineup. They're still not all that good, so don't come at me about that. I'm very aware. But did you know they have a 118 WRC plus against left-handed pitching? I bet you didn't. That is really, really good. So as much as you might not like the overall bats, just the same way that I might not, I think this is a fantastic spot to see more offense from Washington. But Jake Irvin's on the mound, so there's no way we're going to be betting them. 395 xWOBA, 502 expected slugging, 14.6% walk rate himself, 18.3% K rate. I mean, those are both worse than Blake Snell. So not great, Bob. Not great here from Jake Irvin so far. And you're looking, yes, he's righty. So you're looking at some of these lefties, but even Fernando Tatis, he's just starting to join the party here. It's going to happen sooner rather than later. Get ready for it. It'll be an interesting summer there in San Diego, but this one being in Washington, still like runs. Over 9.5. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that 9.5 is the number at open here. I would expect this to be 10, not just because we're seeing offense there tonight. That doesn't affect my decision-making at all. It's just that, well, 9 is now an available number in some spots, and it's juiced pretty heavily, so be kind of careful of that. But the 9.5s that are prevailing across the entire board, I'm surprised right now because, well, they're carrying plus money in some spots. You're looking at, well, some decent spots to be invested. So I think this is a great spot. Over 9.5. We're talking even money, so plus sign in front of it. I love it. It's projecting out nicely for me. If you can get the 9, go ahead and fire that up. But over 9.5, feel pretty good about that one on Thursday. Talk myself into circles on that one. Our 5th game of the day. We got the White Sox, we've got Detroit, and we've got Lucas Giolito, who's starting to show some things, starting to come alive. And Alex Fado, he's interesting. It's kind of an interesting spot overall. Yeah, we're going to be breaking this one down a little bit here because the White Sox, I'm feeling happy with what they pulled off here in the morning. They did not blow a 5-0 lead like we saw Arizona. Texas just completely wiped the board too. That was fantastic. Loved it. It was a good morning overall. Would have been nice to get a homer. Thanks, Kyle Tucker. But Lucas Giolito, 35.9% hard hit percentage, 4.9% walk rate. And I like what we're seeing from this four-seamer once again. Going back to 2019, 2020, when he was coming out of the pen, well, I guess it was Michael Kopech there, but yeah, back when he was an elite starter, Lucas Giolito, 6'6", he was out there torching dudes with a 32.3% K rate in 2019, 33.7% K rate in 2020. It's down to 24.4% this season, but the expected ERA is really what counts here when you're projecting it out. 3.79 expected ERA, xFIP still in a pretty good spot. I feel pretty confident that Lucas Giolito is one of those pieces that is going to get moved by the deadline. I would expect him, I doubt they're going to part with Kopech, but feels like Giolito, maybe Lance Lynn might be the better option between the two. Do a lot of people want Lance Lynn? I love strikeouts at the altar of giving up runs. No, I do not. I would rather have Lucas Giolito on my Minnesota Twins. Go get it done, gentlemen. 93, 94 mile per hour fastball here. And of course, he gets the Detroit matchup, which is oh so tasty against righties. 81 WRC plus, 115 ISO, and a lush 23.5% K rate. And I'm going to be going to the White Sox money line because Alex Fado, I know that the profile is there to maybe find some success. And I would say he's gotten pretty unlucky so far as we look at some of his numbers for his big league career. And across the StatCast data, things have looked pretty darn good. But this is a very highly touted first rounder from 2017. In 2022 was not kind to him in any way, shape, or form. And this season, 3.53 expected ERA. He's shown improvement, but he's still finding ways to get hit up with a 4.60 ERA. And that, friends, is because whenever you give up contact and you're not going to be missing bats, and he's not with a 19.7% K rate, you can get unlucky from time to time. And the dimensions, I think, might play against him too. Detroit, big ballpark, not up for hitting by any means, but sometimes when you're just not getting strikeouts, when you're not Justin Verlander pitching there or things of that nature, the ball gets put in play and Babbitt can really take over. So Alex Fado, I know that these White Sox are not very good with an 84 WRC plus against righties themselves, but I kind of don't care. I think it's a decent enough spot to go target this Detroit lineup with Giolito and kind of like just play in this low scoring fashion. So minus 135, yay for being on the road. It's not like there's a home field advantage in Detroit anyway. Minus 135, love that on the money line. Don't fast forward through this because I'm telling you, these are the things that can make a difference between you having a profitable MLB season and a not profitable MLB season. And hey, here's the thing. My picks don't necessarily change, but the numbers you bet them at do. And that's the most important thing. That is why this is called Odd Shopper. You need to be shopping for the best lines, and a lot of those best lines exist at BetMGM. In fact, the next play that we are looking at here, a couple of different plays, the best lines currently available are at BetMGM. And, well, just add it to your repertoire. I know you have DraftKings. I know you have FanDuel. Get another sportsbook that is offering you a great deal. Check this out. Up to $1,000 in bonus bets back when you lose that first wager. So if you lose your first wager, you get up to $1,000 back. Bet $100 on a money line, it loses, you get $100 back in bonus bets to utilize instantly. It's as simple as that. They're giving you a great deal to try out their product. And then, not only that, we're adding something on top of it just so that you can get exposure to BetMGM. We are going to give you 2 free months of premium Discord. Yes, not just my picks every single day, Sunday through Friday, but Ben Raza, but Isaiah Soros, but Eitan Shander, who's on the parlay frickin' train, friends. I'm telling you, if you're not checking out the 5 for 5, if you're not checking out the parlay videos from my buddy Eitan, if you're not checking him out on the weekend, you are doing it wrong. So sign up at BetMGM. Takes you all about 2 minutes at the video description box below. Use promo code OSInsider when you do. Get yourself up to $1,000 in bonus bets back if your first bet loses. If it wins, yay, you made a lot of money. That's great stuff. And then 2 months of the Discord. What could be better than Do You Like My Sweater? Only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. That does it for me, folks. 5 more picks. Let's get to them. 2 disappointing little righties on the mound here. Baltimore Orioles going up against the New York Yankees. Maybe I should do a live look-in because that game just started 0-0 top of the second. Again, they had rain delays. They had lots of things waiting for that one to get going. Interesting because, again, I just end up on Baltimore money line. It would seem like every single time, and I thought about adding it to the card here on this video today. Again, I'm going to be shying away because Kyle Gibson sucks. 16.7% K rate, 273 expected batting average. He used to be with my Twins. I tried to love him. I tried to treat him really nice, make him soup, take care of him, feed him. Didn't do anything for me. Clark Schmidt, though, on the other side, he was supposed to be the Yankees' new dude on the block. But New Kids on the Block had a bunch of hits. Chinese food makes me sick, and I think it's fly when the girls stop by for the summer. I don't think it's fly when Clark Schmidt stops by for the summer. He'd probably just go to the Hamptons, go kick it. I'm sure I don't know. Probably doesn't have that big contract yet. But 47.4% hard hit percentage, 345 xBOBA. He's got the 26.1% K rate that you're looking for, that I think was the go-to that everybody was saying, hey, he's going to be so good. We need to pick him up in year-long leagues. Woo, he's not very good. Just saying what it is. And I was doing a lot of deep diving as to why, because he's actually been in the league a couple of different times. Like, we've seen him with this Yankee squad a number of different times. Now, this is his exposure, and this was supposed to be his breakout season, and it hasn't been there. The curveball, 33.3% whip percentage. The cutter, 28.6%. And that sweeper that he throws, his primary pitch, 29.5%. Pretty decent stuff there. But it's still getting hit to the tune of a 520 expected slugging, and it doesn't get better with his other 2 primary pitches. Goes to 574 in the sinker, and that cutter has an 800 slugging against. Well, zoink, Scoob, that is really, really bad. So I'm definitely going to be looking at offense in this one, but I think the guy that we need to just continually talk about on this program, because he has only treated us nicely. He has only been loyal. Now, we're looking for that loyal chick, and, well, Anthony Rizzo. He's beautiful. Handsome man. Pulling the ball in a short porch and right in Yankee Stadium. It's good stuff. And I know Aaron Judge is the it guy, 754 expected slugging, but Anthony Rizzo, 484 expected slugging and really hitting up righties. And we know that batted ball profile has always had crazy launch on it. Now, anytime he's going to face a bad righty, I'm going to have interest in him. But we've been getting plus money routinely on these over 1.5 total bases plays that I've then paired with the homers at a smaller unit sizing. So if I go half a unit for the over of 1.5 total bases at plus money, I'm getting a play on, that double that he ends up hitting instead of the homer out to right, because he is only pulling the baseball, I can tell you that much. You have a 364 xWOBA. Lots of opportunities that I think where he's going to be hitting decently for average, in addition to his opportunity to go yard for you. So I love Anthony Rizzo against bad righties. I think that's been a staple of the betting card for about the last 2 weeks, and it has only only gone well for us on the up and up. Batting .310, 11 homers, 920 OPS, and we have only ridden this streak because, again, all these homers have showed up since the beginning of this month. I mean, it has been a crazy tear since we started putting this in play. Have I mentioned that I've been putting this in play? I think it did that like 84 times. Let's move along. I'm leaning the over of 1.5 total bases in the homer, as long as you're getting plus money on the total bases, which you absolutely should be, and as long as that home run is better than plus 325. Well, we know the Phillies pitcher. We do not know the Braves pitcher, and that, my friends, means NA. Aaron Nola. A-N. Ooh, look at that. Aaron Nola, 34.6% hard hit percentage, 300 x12, but I like him a lot. I do not like this K rate. I feel very uncomfortable when somebody goes from a 29.1% K rate to a 21.3% K rate because you're pitching to contact. Now, he's only 29 years of age. I don't know what to make of it, but he has more miles on the tires, if you will, than most at this stage of his career. He was 22 years of age, pitching over 1,000 pitches in the big leagues at 22 years of age in 2015. That is a lot of baseball that he has seen since then, and seasons with over 3,000 pitches. We're talking 2018, 2019, almost 2021, just short of the 3K number there, and in 2022, over 3,000 again. He and Zach Wheeler need to carry this Phillies team if they're going to do anything over the course of this summer to catch ground and, well, beating Arizona, finally. Good job. Almost got swept by him, but doesn't matter. Just screwed up that one. Anyway, Aaron Nola, he's the only piece that we know is going here. I have no idea, like zero clue who the Atlanta starter could be. I've dug through it. If I had to guess, I think Dylan Dodd comes back from AAA. He's terrible, but I think he's in a spot where he could end up getting the ball. He's a lefty who got completely pummeled at the big league level so far. I don't think it's got to be him. I'm looking at the AAA. Again, there's ways you can look this up on Fangraphs. So do that, friends. Just wanted to throw out there Dylan Dodd. If it ends up being him, I would absolutely will have tons of interest in -1.5 Philly, even though this Atlanta lineup, of course, they're dangerous. They have some pieces, but just a 97 WRC plus against righties. I think -1.5 is the lean here. I think if it's good old Dylan Dodd, you're going to be looking at it's going to be a hefty number on the money line to be playing Philly on the road, and that doesn't feel as good. I think I would just take the offensive explosion against Dodd and just take Philly -1.5. 3 games to go, friends. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. I don't say this enough, but I just appreciate you all being here, listening to me, trusting me, letting me help you with your process every single day. It's kind of a cool thing to be able to do, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. That's all I really got for you there. We've got the Mets, we've got the Cubs here coming up next, and, well, it's kind of a disgusting spot because Carlos Carrasco, the Mets starter, I cheer for him all the time. He's just not very good at this stage of his career. A .538 expected slugging, 12.8% K rate, 11.6% walk rate. If there were anybody that I could just give superpowers to be the former version of themselves, it'd probably be cancer survivor Carlos Carrasco. But unfortunately, 400 xWOBA, it's unfortunate. I'm going to be targeting him just about every single time out. And Jameson Taillon on the mound for the Cubbies. We saw him in Pittsburgh. Saw him with the Yankees. Nothing really showed up that I was all that impressed with. He fought some demons early on in his big league career, found some success in the middle of it with a 3.89 expected ERA in 2021. But that's up to a 6.06 expected ERA so far this season, a 448 xWOBA, which is just a big number. Trust me, it's large. That is not what you want. It's Jaws-like, it's terrifying, and it's a big shark. So why am I backing the Chicago Cubs here? Has to do with Carrasco. He's just that much worse. And when you're Jameson Taillon here, getting this Mets matchup, sure, they're not going to strike out a lot, just a 20% K rate. But he's already not striking out batters. And with a 104 WRC plus, maybe some of this contact can just go on the ground for once. That would be useful. Cutter, it's not cutting. The sinker, it's not sinking. Those are unfortunate facts. But overall, I think he can do just enough with the curveball sweeper on the back ends. One, he's throwing primarily to lefties, the curveball. One, he's throwing only to righties, the sweeper. I think he can do just enough here, and this becomes a nice value piece to be adding. Not sure why Carrasco is getting the valuation of being an even money player here. Minus 110 pretty much on both sides around the entire industry. But it is what it is. I'll take the Cubs against Carrasco. Money line, like for a half unit. The other line that we're not exactly sure what to do with yet, it is the San Francisco Giants finally getting the heck away from my Twins. Although, hey, if you have more games like today, come back safely. Come make it. Target Field will welcome you. Sorry, Barry. Anybody else watching Barry? It's gotten a little weird. I hope the finale's fire. Please be fire. I need some fire in my life. I don't know. Can we get Succession to be fire? Oh, it's so fire. Is Greg going to take over the company? That'd be hilarious. But either way, we got the Giants, we got the Brewers. We know Scott Alexander is probably going to be the guy getting the ball here from the San Francisco side. And I'm just making an educated guess that Logan Webb could be rejoining our lives as a guy who is either starting here or backing up Alexander in like a piggyback role. I know it seems strange that they would do that, but they do. Milwaukee, they want him to avoid some of these lefties at the top of the order. Bring in Scott Alexander, the lefties, to face Yelich, Winker, whomever else, and then bring in Logan Webb to try to ground ball and strike out them to death. 2.91 ERA, 1.11 whip. Again, it's kind of a weird thing. San Francisco, they do goofy shit all the time. They pinch hit all the time. They're going to do the Mania piggyback thing. It's not enjoyable. At least when Tampa does it, it's educated. It's smart. It's trendy. I hate it when San Francisco does it because they're just a bad baseball team. But either way, Milwaukee on the other side. I have no idea who's going to start. Legitimately, I've never been more clueless about who could start. We saw Adrian Hauser. He mowed down the Houston Astros. It was kind of hilarious. If you told me and I had to guess who I think it could, I literally don't know who it could be. Can't be Freddie Peralta. Can't really be a bullpen situation. They're going to have to call somebody up from AAA. I just don't know who it's going to be. So, friends, I tell you this all the time. Let me tell you again. If you want to know what I do with this baseball game, hit me up at Twitter at Eric Lindquist. Just my name. You spell my name, you can find me on Twitter. You can talk shit. You can give me love. You can ask me questions about San Francisco and Milwaukee. I'd be happy to help you. I'm sure something might show up here, especially because there's some interesting value pieces, whether it's a JD Davis, whether it's a Mitch Haniger, who I've always been in love with from a batting perspective. And then, what's San Francisco going to do? Normally, you would just start your main dude in Logan Webb, but doesn't seem like they're going to based on what we're reading in the old tea leaves here. He had lower back soreness on his last start. Looks like he's good to go here. Waiting to see, though. Gonna actually, I'm just gonna lean Milwaukee money line and move on with our lives. To the last game we go, to the lock. Eric, you always lock the last game. Well, guess what? I am today. It's Oakland. It's Seattle. I feel like they've played 48,932 times in a row, give or take a few. I might have rounded up a little bit, but either way, I am in love with backing Logan Gilbert here in this spot. We saw our guy that was supposed to pitch on Wednesday get moved to Thursday, JP Sears, and he's better than, I had to bet it again because, they took it off the board, that they added Waldichuk. And how much wood could a Waldichuk chuck if a Waldichuk could chuck wood? Hopefully a ton of long balls. Hopefully a ton of wood making contact with his baseballs here tonight on Wednesday, because I ended up firing that one. That's for sure. And I'm going to be firing it again. And I'm aware I've been beating the drum that Brent Rooker, that Ryan Noda, not to be confused with M. Shinoda. That is Lincoln Park, friends. Not to be confused with Ramon Laureano, who's actually been terrible this season, if we're going to be dead honest. 31.5% hard hit percentage, 265 xWOBA. But I know he's just kind of getting going. Only 89 batted ball events on the season. I'm getting excited. I apologize. And Asturi Ruiz, as fast as this human being is, 29.7 sprint speed, which is just stupid on Fangraphs. Stupid to be looking at a baseball savant. He has not been good. 331 expected slugging in that regard. 289 xWOBA. He gets by on just getting on base by running faster than everybody else, than stealing bags. That is why he is fantasy relevant, friends. Against Logan Gilbert, my God. Bring me all of the pain for the Oakland Athletics yet again. Over a 6.5 xFIP going into this game from the bullpen. And then you get Logan Gilbert with a 277 xWOBA, a 30.6% K rate, 5% walk rate. If you were to draw up a matchup for what I wanted to see here. And obviously, JP Sears is getting more love than I expected him to by the books on Thursday, especially considering on Wednesday, kind of a worse pitching profile, and yet we saw bigger numbers than minus 225 like it is on the money line right now. But friends, I don't need no stinking money line. We can go right to the 1.5. Yeah, we're going to lay 1.5 on the run line here at standard juice, minus 110 across the industry, across the board. I find that to be incorrect, and I would be shocked if that thing isn't north of minus 120 when we get tomorrow. So, friends, lock it. Seattle on the run line, your favorite, my favorite play, now your favorite, and the one we should all be cheering for. The Mariners get it done in resounding fashion on Thursday. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite play on the board for Thursday. Yeah, I'm going to be adding a couple of different home run plays. I think there's 2 or 3 of them that really stand out to me on the board for tomorrow. I would love to give you all of them. I think I hinted at a couple of them. If that happens. There have been some big numbers on my guy of late here. I haven't pulled the trigger yet. Think I'm going to tomorrow if the number is what I think it's going to be. But if you want to get access to that betting card and know exactly who I'm going to be getting on the whole betting card for the home run department, for the K-prop department, everything that I have going, you can sign up for BetMGM. That's the best way to do it. Get yourself that free bet where you're going to get refunded up to $1,000 bonus bet so long as you fire that up in the video description box below, and then you're going to get the 2 free months. So take advantage of all of those great things. All right, y'all, I'll be back for one more night from the childhood bedroom. Then I'm going back to LA on Sunday night. That'll be great. You'll have A-Town over the weekend per usual. So until my last night being Thursday night, recording for Friday, best of luck. Well, I should say my name. I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Thursday.